Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ivy League Digital Network. Matt Panto here for another edition of Around the Ancient Eight as we get set to preview the NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament. And joining us from Kansas City, Missouri is ESPN analyst Fran Fraschilla. Fran, couldn't thank you enough for spending a few minutes today with us as you get set for the Big 12 tournament and really during a very busy time in your schedule.
Well, it's a pleasure being with you guys.
Fran, the Crimson heading back to the NCAA tournament. When you take a look at this year's Crimson squad, what characteristics, what traits come to mind?
Well, there's a number of things I love about the Crimson. First of all, the experience of having been in the NCAA tournament the last couple years. You have a lot of players on Tommy Amaker's roster that have this kind of experience, including the core of the team that knocked off New Mexico a year ago. I think the other thing is the depth and the balance of this team. Solid guys inside that can score the basketball like Kyle Casey and Steve Mondumisi, and also the perimeter. When you add a Brandon Curry back into this mix this year, Siani Chambers, Laurent Rivard, who's an outstanding scorer. Tommy Amaker's got a very deep team, but an experienced team, and I love the balance in terms of inside-outside scoring.
Fran, everyone will certainly talk about last year's win over New Mexico. No matter who the Crimson play, how does that experience help this year's Harvard squad?
Well, I don't think there's any question that experience matters in the NCAA tournament. And as I'd mentioned, the win over New Mexico and then getting a chance to play Arizona last year has to give this group a lot of confidence that they can play on a national stage. But also keep in mind that Tommy has taken his team to some tough places and played some tough opponents through the years. So this team is battle-tested. A team that really had Colorado on the ropes for most of that game back in November. A team that lost in a one-possession game at UConn with a couple key guys out. So there's no doubt about it. Tournament experience and experience against quality opponents should serve this Harvard team well.
We'll certainly learn a lot more once the brackets are announced, but no matter who Harvard plays, what will they have to do well in their first round game to come out with victory?
Well, I think the key for Harvard, regardless of who they play, is making shots. And that really starts on the perimeter. Depending on matchups, obviously, how much they can score inside will be, a question mark at this point. But last year, if you think back to the New Mexico game, Rivard was on fire from the perimeter. Now you're adding a Brandon Curry back into the mix. Siani Chambers has really improved, his perimeter game as well. Wesley Saunders is a guy that can really score the ball. So I think anytime you're talking about a team like Harvard going in and winning a couple of NCAA tournament games, it's got to be the ability to make some shots, particularly from the perimeter, and take the heat off of scoring in the painted area.
Fran, we really sincerely appreciate you taking a few minutes while you're out there in Kansas City for the Big 12 tournament. Best of luck for a lot of successful broadcasts this weekend. We really look forward to catching up with you soon. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. It's a pleasure being with you guys. I've enjoyed watching Ivy League basketball all season long.
That's Fran Fraschilla, ESPN analyst out in Kansas City, Missouri. We thank Fran for his time. Find out where the Crimson are going dancing on Selection Sunday and stay with us all next week to preview Harvard's matchup in the NCAA tournament. Matt Panto for the Ivy League Digital Network.